Hey, welcome back to Snapbolt Games. My name's Max, and we're here with a modern league today, and we're gonna have some fun today. We're gonna be playing Rug Scapeshift. This is a deck I just brewed up, and to be honest, I haven't played a game with the deck yet, but I've played a lot of Scapeshift. I've played a lot of actually Rug and Red-Green Scapeshift in the past. So I'll get into the deck tech in a second. Real quick, if you're not familiar with the channel, let me shout it out. It's youtube.com/snapbolt. There's a link in the description below. Go to the channel, check it out. Lots of popper content, lots of modern. There's limited, something for everyone. If you like my content, please consider supporting the channel by subscribing. It's the best way to support me, real easy. And thank you so much if you want to support me by subscribing. Thanks. Okay, now, what is this deck? This is a red-green Scapeshift deck, only 2 copies of Scapeshift, but we're just a Valakut, the Molten Pinnacle deck, so we're just trying to put a bunch of mountains into play. Let me go through the deck. 28 lands, different mana base than most, and we are playing blue. I guess I'll get right into that. Why are we playing blue? What's the reason? Why are we not just red-green? And I wanted to just try Expressive Iteration in this deck, basically. That's the reason. This card is just unbelievably pushed. It's just seeing so much play all over the place. I think it's basically the reason why blue-red Murktide is so good, and Murktide, but this card is just so strong. And it seems good in this deck too, because going Iteration on turn 3, so you guaranteed to hit a land drop and you draw another card, whether that's another land or an action card, just seems great. Just giving you so much card advantage, card selection all at the same time. You can find what you need, hit your land drops. It just does it all. So it just gives this deck like a nice kind of mid-rangey plan. And there's a lot of synergy with Iteration, with these Explorers and Growth Spirals, with Dryad, and just, getting like our draws like really smoothed out. Okay. Also just finds our Titans or lands or Valakuts or whatever we need. But let's get to the mana base. Triple Ketria Triome. We have 8 fetch lands. We need a lot of fetch lands because I'm playing 2 Ren and 6 as well. This card just kills Monkey. It allows you to continue to hit your land drops. So it's just such a powerful 2-mana planeswalker. I wanted to try to include it. I know, again, this isn't as focused as a lot of the other red-green Scapeshift decks, but we kind of can attack from a different angle that those decks can't. Then 1 Breeding Pool, 4 Stomping Grounds, because I think this is the best duel, just because you're going to want green mana early for most of the spells, and you're going to want extra green mana, and this is just a mountain as well. So 4 Stomping Ground, only 1 Breeding Pool, just because it's not a mountain, 2 Steam Vents, then 2 Basic Forest, 3 Mountains, and an Island. The mana base could be a lot different. There's a lot of stuff you can choose to do. Like, you could play anywhere from 2 to 4 copies of Castle Garenbrig. There's all these different things you can do. But again, if you're going to play Ren and 6, you need to play more fetches. So there's not really room for that. Plus, you want to have a good number of mountains. So playing the Ren and 6, not playing the Castle Garenbrigs. Also wanted to play Urza's Saga, but I'm not sure if that exactly goes with this deck, just because, 1, we're 3 colors, so the mana is a little more rough, and it's a land that dies, so you want your lands to stay in play, so you get up and start Valakutting them. So not exactly the synergy with Saga, plus then you have to play artifacts for it and stuff, so I'm not sure about that. But another nice synergy of playing so many fetch lands is Dryad, because Valakut, plus if you have Valakut active with Dryad, and then you play a fetch land, trigger Valakut, fetch, trigger Valakut again. So that's some nice synergy. Dryad is just insane in this deck, fixing our mana, turning on our Valakuts 2 turns early, basically, ramping us, 2/4 body. This card just does it all. I think less than 4 copies is wrong. And then, of course, 4 Titan. Only 2 Scapeshift, just because we can find them easily when we want to with JACE and Iteration. And this is a card I've actually... JACE is a card I've really liked in these Scapeshift decks, just because you can turn 3 JACE very easily. It gives you just this other angle of attack where you can bounce their creatures with JACE, which normally, like, we don't have outs to Murktide, but with JACE we do. Not only that, just going JACE Brainstorm Shuffle is so strong in this deck. You can shuffle away extra lands, you can get closer to drawing more Titans, etc., etc. So, not sure about these 2 Grazers. Again, I haven't played any games with the deck, so we might just find that this deck is trash. It might be too slow for the format right now, but I think this deck can beat up on just like other random mid-range decks, because we kind of go over the top. We have like a lot of inevitability with Valakut. We will struggle against like Blood Moons and Alpine Moons, but to get to that, moving on to the sideboard, 3 Force of Vigor. This is the artifact enchantment card of of choice. I think this is just really good against Hammer Time, costing 0 mana, blowing up 2 things. It's like an inherent 2 for 2, which is exactly what you want just to buy time. Quad Chalice of the Void. I was even thinking, like, should I just cut either like some or all of these bolts and grazers and just play Chalice in the main deck and just plan on going like turn 1 tap land and then start playing spells on turn 2 and just be a Chalice of the Void deck because it's so well positioned against the Cascade decks that play all these zeros and against decks with a lot of 1-drops like Blue Red Murktide. So I'm just doing the 4 Chalice in the sideboard. It could be just like a fine main deck card as well. Again, this deck is pretty untested, so we'll see. 2 Veil, 2 Mystical. Mystical seems nice, can counter Murktide. 2 Crumble to Dust. This card is sweet because Mono Green Tron is kind of making a comeback. And we can just also crumble like stuff like Urza's Saga if we want. So this actually seems pretty cool. Just like exiling all their sagas could be decent in some matchups. And then a couple Angers because it's so well positioned in this deck. So again, we don't have Search for Tomorrow and we don't have Steve. So Steve is Sakura Tri-Builder. So definitely some different choices than usual. 8 Explorers, and I gotta say this, only 28 lands. I wanted to play like 30 or 31 or even 32 lands with 8 Explorers. But I just didn't really know what else to cut. I was like, I can just cut Jace, but that just, again, gives the deck another angle of attack. I could not play Ren and 6, maybe even not play Jace and just play even more lands and maybe more Grazers. Kind of go something like that route, but I like just mixing it up a little bit. Grazer can be pretty bad, especially in multiples if you don't have the lands. So just trying 2 Grazer right now. I do also want Lightning Bolt, I think because it kills DRC and Monkey, and those cards can be a problem otherwise. If you're just only playing the green ramp cards and not playing any interaction, it could get rough. But this deck looks fun. I'm really excited to get into this one, and let's just go round 1. I'll see you there. All right, welcome to round 1. I am excited to get into this one. Haven't played Modern for a while. Would you like to play first? Yes. Been playing the DGen Pauper Leagues. Okay, sand looks great. Let's keep. No companion from our opponent. No companion for us. Just lead Triome. Go. Turn 2, probably just going to explore plus Misty. Then I can fetch another duel. It is a little bit awkward having this island. We don't get to have all mountains in play, but that's okay. Oh, the Inquisition. That is more than fine. I don't care what they take here. Concealed Courtyard Inquisition feels like it's black-white ephemerate, which should be a pretty good matchup for us. Let me fix this green screen as per usual. I think it's kind of tough with this color shirt or something, is what it is. I don't think it'll be too bad. Okay, they're just tanking on this Inquisition. I mean, wow, they take Bolt. So they can like Grief plus Flicker next turn or something. I mean, I kind of want to keep playing... I was going to say I kind of want to keep playing Mountains every land drop, but I think this is fine just to go Island Explore here. Then I can just go fetch land, then fetch like another tap land. Or I can just play a tapped Stomping Ground that they don't know about. I can just Misty get a second copy of Triome. I'm gonna just play Misty Pass. They don't know if we have another Lightning Bolt. They play another like Inquisition, sure. Priest of Felrites, okay. That's why they took Bolt. That makes sense. Let's just get Triome and tap. Now we want to find Bolt. All right. I mean, I can sort of go off here. They're likely to be able to reanimate something really good next turn, but at least I can potentially have like a million lands in play. So I'm just going to go Dryad into Growth Spiral, I think, right? I guess I can Growth Spiral first, in case I draw exactly Lightning Bolt. Let's just go Growth Spiral right now. Put Tarn in. Play Stomping Ground. Would you like to pay 2 life? Yes. I can just fetch a mountain here. think that's fine. I don't have any more land drops now, so I'm already out of land drops, which kind of sucks. But if I top deck a land in our 28 land deck, I can just cast Primeval Titan next turn, get 2 Valakuts, go from there. If they have like, is it Unmarked Grave or whatever the new Entomb is for like just something huge, that could get pretty bad. We don't really have any hate in the sideboard. I probably should have had like probably should have had a bunch of copies of Endurance. I was thinking about that earlier, and then I kind of just built the sideboard right before recording, and I just didn't add the Endurance. So my bad. We can rectify that moving forward, though. Unmarked Grave. Okay. They have like everything. They had Inquisition into Priest into Thoughtseize Unmarked Grave. Jeez. So what do they get here? Is the best thing just the Archon? Yeah. It's also why I shouldn't have played the Dryad because of Archon. I have to discard a card. I just got absolutely ranched here. The Thoughtseize taking the Bolt was brutal. Alright. I'll play Mountain, pass. Even Primeval Titan at this point just might be too late. I get drained for 3 and then hit for 6, so I'm just dead next turn. Am I just dead right now? Well, we just got like totally disrupted. They're just gonna play another Priest or something. Oh, Night's Whisper. So they just look to be just straight up Black-White Reanimator. Oh, okay. Prove me wrong. Did draw Primeval Titan, but don't think we have outs, because if I just get Mountain Valakut, I can only shoot for 3, and then I still just die to Archon. Just want to make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just a little bit too slow here. Again, the hand disruption just got us. Nothing we can do. We can't gain any life with the Primeval Titan, so that kind of sucks. Alright, definitely boarded Veils. I don't hate Chalice either, because I can just Chalice for 1 or 2, which should be pretty good in the matchup. I feel like, I guess I actually do need Lightning Bolt. I think Grazer is bad. Renin 6 does help me hit land drops, but that's about, I think, all it's going to do. I don't think it's going to kill anything. JACE seems pretty good. Honestly, not sure what else to side out. Siding out Dryad seems crazy. I mean, I know they have Priest of Fellrights, so I guess I kind of just do need to keep my bolts in. Just don't even have Graveyard Hate, which is pretty rough. Definitely a deck building mistake there. I'm just going to side out Renin 6 altogether. Not going to side out Iteration against that Thoughtseize Inquisition deck. I could just side out like 2 Growth Spirals or something. Could also side out some Dryads, but again, I don't think that's good. Alright, let's try it like this. Veils plus Chalices. We can just, again, now that we know kind of what they're doing, Chalice on 1 and 2 are both pretty good, especially Chalice on 2 in the matchup. So let's try it like this. Check to play first, yes. Keep. Sand looks totally reasonable. No Veils, but Iteration plus Bolt as things to do here. We really just want to face like other super mid-rangey decks, because those are the decks we crush. If they're just trying to put, yeah, like, you know, an Archon into play on turn 2 or 3, that's pretty bad. Thoughtseize themselves. So they're going to persist at Grave Titan on turn 2. Okay, that's pretty good. How do I beat this? Do I need to just Iteration right now? It seems so much worse. I guess I need to find another copy of Bolt just to double bolt the Grave Titan, so I think I want to. Let's just go shock, iteration. Oh god. So I'll just exile the island. Definitely in trouble here. Turn 2 Grave Titan is just going to be too much here. I can still top deck Bolt, but that's basically what I need. Another iteration. Okay, I'm glad I cast the first one at least, but it's probably going to be too late getting hit for 9 and they make more power. All right, well, I definitely need to take... I need to take Veil of Summer to hand, I think. I mean, I guess I could take Iteration, but I could just take Iteration, play another tap land like a Valakut. That might be my best chance. I mean, I can just exile Chalice, play it for 0, but I don't think that's really going to do anything in this matchup. So I need to take Iteration, just ignore this Veil, exile Chalice, cast it for 0, play a Valakut. Because if I draw a Dryad and I could get double Valakut triggers going, that's a way I could get out of it as well. But yeah, these iterations are just too slow against the turn 2 Grave Titan. So a quick loss in round 1, it looks like here. Tap land, go. I was gonna say Bolt lets me survive, but we're just dead now. Okay, GG's. Quick loss. Let's go round 2. Just wanted to say before we get into round 2 here, I like to make changes as we go. I just cut a Chalice and an Anger and threw 2 Endurance into the sideboard. So we'll have that moving forward. We're against Dan Zant. Hope this round goes a little bit more smoothly than the first one. Would you like to play first? Yes. Keep this hand. Same looks great. This is exactly what our deck's trying to do. This deck is very slow, so again, against fast combo decks like our opponents was, it's just going to be a rough matchup, I think. And we, had a quickly built sideboard that didn't have any answers for what our opponent was doing, so. Pretty rough. I mean, you haven't seen this deck much, and it just might be too slow for Modern right now, so that could be the problem, especially without interaction of like counter spells and stuff. Like, this is more just the red-green ramp version with a couple blue cards. It's not really like the rug controlling Scapeshift deck. It's just Valakut. Hope they're a mid-range deck on a mull to 5. Then we'll be well positioned. Misty into Overgrown Tomb. Interesting. Into Amulet. Okay. Amulet on a mull to 5, huh? I think I'm going Scalding Tarn, fetch a red-green land, play Explore. Let's do it. Stomping Ground, play Explore. And then play Misty Rainforest, pass the turn. I can plan on just fetching Triome here. Really fix our mana. And then hopefully draw more lands moving forward. They just play Teleria West. Okay, that's a good sign for us. Oh, this is the freaking Reanimator slash Primeval Titan Amulet version. Oh god. Are we just going to get persisted? Why do we have to play against Unmarked Grave decks in the first 2 rounds when I didn't add any Graveyard Hate? I guess that's justice. I made a mistake in deck building. Alright, let's lead on Dryad here. I guess I can lead Explore. It's just better, right? Green, blue, Explore. Put a land into play. Play Wooded Foothills. Sacrifice it. Get Mountain. Play Dryad. Yes. So if they go persist, get a Primeval Titan, they can give it haste because they have Amulet. So turn 3 Titan with haste would be pretty sick. But if they don't have the persist, they run a Multi 5, and I draw any land. Interesting. Then I can just Primeval Titan, get 2 Valakuts, throw a million triggers around. They do have the persist. Wow. So all they can really do is they don't have a Dryad. So all they can really do is like give this haste, right? Can they also give it double strike this turn? I don't think they can. They need double amulet for that, I think. I mean, this is still, again, going to be a turn 3 Titan with haste, I suppose. Maybe, I don't know this version that well. I have seen it. I just don't know every card in the deck, really, so we'll see. Also, I could just kill them with Scapeshift. I just need to draw some lands. Okay, they obviously can give it haste. They actually might be able to... Let's see. They also Gruul Turf, so they have to bounce a land here. Are they just going to bounce? Oh, they bounce Gruul Turf. They play Dryad. Jeez. This draw from them is insane on 5. Okay. And then they play an extra land. And then they battlements to give Titan haste. And then they can get 2 Valakuts. And then shoot down my Dryad. If I draw a land and play Explore into another land, I can still Scapeshift and kill them though, so... If they don't kill me, I can kill them. So yeah, double Valakut here is really bad for me. This draw from them, jeez. So they have 4 triggers. Jeez, yeah, I just die. Because they go shoot, 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 shoot. I'm still not over yet. I guess if they just shoot me for 12, I have to chump anyway. It doesn't really matter what they do. Because I go to 3, and then I can take 2, go to 1. So I'm not dead. Yeah, I'm taking 12 down to 3, and then I chump. And I need the top 2 cards in my library to be lands. Because I can go Explore, land, Scapeshift, deal you 18 damage. Okay, that was an insane turn 3, but can we win next turn? We need to top deck land. It's not one of the harder things to do. We don't. That sucks. That would have been pretty cool to do against that draw from that the opponent had. Okay. I think I want Force of Vigor. Crumble seems pretty good just because I can like take them down on mana and exile a bunch of their bounce lands. Don't know if I need triple Force of Vigor, but like killing 1 or 2 amulets seems strong. I think Lightning Bolt is just not good in this matchup. Jace and Ren are also pretty slow. Guess I'll keep the Jace. I just keep 1 Ren too, just that out Bolt. I don't think I want Chalice. I can Chalice on 0 to stop them from casting Summoner's Pact. Is that better than like Ren or Jace? Because if they go tap land, I can also just Chalice on 1, lock them out of Amulet. Chalices cannot be that good. Alright, let's try it like this. Definitely getting destroyed in this league so far. Deck has just been too clunky. I mean, this hand isn't good in this matchup, but I just think I have to keep and just hope the opponent doesn't do anything too crazy, which I guess is a pretty bad plan against the Unmarked Grave Persist decks. Because they're just trying to do like one thing quickly. they're on a mulligan to 5, but they killed us essentially on turn 3 last game on a mull to 5. Okay, now they're down to 4. This is buying us time. This is buying us time. Looking good. I'm just going to lead Triome here, I think. They're on 4 cards. Huge mulligans from the opponent. We'll see if it matters for them. Meanwhile, I don't like to mulligan too much, as you can probably see with this hand. And again, if we don't die quickly, this hand is just fine for our deck, for what our deck's doing. This deck is definitely going to have some polarized matchups. I think this deck's Tron matchup is actually pretty good, but Iteration is already seeming just like a little too slow in this deck particularly. Let's just go Valakut, pass. And then I can just go Dryad plus tap land next turn, and then play another Dryad and keep hitting lands. Okay, they have a Rot Farm. An Explorer here or an Unmarked Grave would obviously be annoying. Jeez, Multi 4, just turn 3 Titan anyway. We'll see if they have the Persist. Yeah, their hands have been pretty nuts. I mean, I guess all we did was turn 3 Dryad, which is just not good. So there's a Valakut from hand, untap. Are they just going to play a Dryad or something? They have the Persist. Wow. Getting wrecked. As long as they don't also have Dryad again, then I'm probably fine, because they don't actually play mountains. So we'll see. I can play 2 lands next turn, and I can actually go land into fetch land. And I can play Iteration too, so I can actually play a lot of lands next turn. Alright, they got double Valakut, but again, no Dryad yet. So what are they getting here with this prime time? I'm only taking 5 at the moment. Are they just going to get lands to be able to get another prime time? Double Urza's Saga. Okay. That's some pretty good value for sure. I'm taking 5. They have 2 cards left. I think I might be okay this game. And there's a Jace. Jace might be good like next turn. I guess I can start the turn on Iteration. I think that's best. Just go Iteration. There's a prime time and a land. Interesting. There's also an Explorer. Kind of want to take the prime time, because I'm going to just be killing their Primeval Titan this turn, and that's basically it. I suppose they could have another Primeval Titan, which would be bad news for me. So I need to take Primeval Titan and then exile Forest, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I start triggering. So I'm going to have 3 Valakut triggers this turn. So let's just take Primeval Titan to hand, Library the Explorer, exile the Forest, play Forest, and then I can... I don't want to play Jace, I don't think. I'd rather just play another Dryad. So let's just play another Dryad now. Just have 2 in play in case they have like a Dismember or something weird. Let's just play Dryad. They don't. Alright, so I get 1 trigger and then 2 more triggers. So shoot prime time. Use the ability, yes, and then shoot it again. And then I guess I don't need to crack this yet. Then attack for 2. And they can make 2 Saga tokens, but I can just kill them next turn with Primeval Titan. So if they have another Persist plus Dryad, I die, but again, then that would be them pretty much having everything. Unmarked Grave, Persist plus Dryad is basically what they need, and they have Amulet, so. Simic Growth Chamber into what? Into Primeval Titan? This should be another bad matchup because they're kind of doing the same thing as us. They're just like faster at putting Primeval Titan into play. Oh, they're just passing? Okay, well, this should just be game then. Let's just Primeval Titan. You can just get double Valakut here. They have to remove both Dryads. Yeah. Okay. We did the thing. They were on a mulligan to 4, though. Okay. I mean, Crumble is good. Force of Vigor is okay. We could maybe get them with a Force of Vigor if they, like, play a second Amulet. Then I can just, like, blow both up or something. I mean, I guess they'll probably just put a land into play and have the Valakut trigger, or the Amulet triggers go off, but I think this is where we want to be. I guess some number of Bolt could be good, especially if they have Sakura Tribe Elder and stuff, but I think with Unmarked Grave Persist, I don't know if they're even doing that. I mean, I could try to Chalice for X equals 2, but I don't think I can. Let's just run this. Okay, well, this hand is good. We have turn 1 Grazer, turn 2 Growth Spiral, turn 3 Crumble. This is like basically what we want to do. Might be too slow. Opponent's on another. That deck probably just mulligans to like infinite every time. It's just trying to do so many things. It needs Amulet, it needs colors, it needs bounce lands, it needs Persist and Unmarked Grave. It just has so much going on. As we can see, it's really powerful when it like hits what it needs, but just seems vulnerable to Graveyard Hate. Just seems really inconsistent, and then you get so much power when it works. In a way, like similar to like a Gristlebrand type deck. Have the turn 1 Grazer, no Amulet. Okay. We're going to match that. Oh, nice. Let's just go Grazer into Triome. Pass. Wonder if I'm going Dryad or if I'm going Growth Spiral here. But they don't have any more lands. I mean, is it better to just get Dryad down and then start Growth Spiraling? I mean, I could just double Growth Spiral this turn. It's got to be better, right? If I draw like an Explorer or a Renin 6, I'm probably going to want to play it. I think I'm just going to Growth Spiral now. I guess they could counter this, but just going to play it now. Can still crumble next turn regardless. Jace. Okay. I'm just going to play a Growth Spiral at the end of their turn now. I don't really care about taking damage too much. I hope next turn they just like play a bounce land and then that's it. If they don't, I'm probably still going to just Stone Rain them with Crumble just to really keep them down on mana. We'll see. Okay, nice. So now I can just Crumble the bounce land. It's not the black-green one, so I don't get to exile all those, but I still get to just take them really low on, I guess, just back down to 2 mana. So this looks good. They're just on the Grazer plan. So Ketria Triome. I have a Dryad in hand. I don't necessarily need to take a bunch of damage, but I also think it might just be worth it. Like I can get like Stomping Ground Steam Vents or something. Then I'm fetch shock. I guess what I can do is I need to get at least one. I guess I'm just going to fetch shock, whatever. Not sure if that's worth, but it is what it is. There's a Force of Vigor. All right, we're just going to crumble this. Takes our whole turn, but it makes it so the opponent likely can't do anything. Bone Shards and Primeval Titan. Okay. Let's take a quick look at their deck. One dismember that they do have. They have double Force of Vigor for Dryads. That's cool. Sarah's Emissary. Choose a card type. So they choose land. Wow, that's actually really good. They have a Primeval Titan in hand. 3 in the deck. So their deck is basically just lands, Persist, Unmarked Grave at this point, Dryad. They don't really have anything at all going on. They can like cast a Bone Shard by sacking a Dryad or sacking a Grazer to kill something, but I can just cast a Jace Brainstorm next turn. Okay. Okay, let's pass. And I even have a Force if they play a Dryad. Right, they had a land, so we know that they still have Bone Shards Titan in hand. I'm gonna go Jace Brainstorm. Oh wait, Bone Shards kills Jace too. Hmm. I wonder if I want to just wait on Jace then, because they're not close to casting Titan. I think I'm just gonna go explore, try to hit a land, and then play a Dryad, and they might just Bone Shards that. Okay, pass. I can always like Jace Brainstorm next turn. Alright, there's a Valakut. They're 2 mana away from casting Titan. I feel like they should just Bone Shards this. They will. Okay, sacking a Grazer. It's actually pretty cool. It's a good card. But now I get to just Jace. I could even just Jace Fate Seal. I think Brainstorm has got to be better. I was like, is the opponent going to salt off right now? Right, it's Brainstorm. Okay, can't cast anything else this turn. I can just put back Jace plus Renin 6. Keep the Force and the Growth Spiral just in case. Jace Ren, play Triumph, pass the turn. Wonder if I need to start Fate Sealing them. Kind of want to just keep Brainstorming though. I can also Ren, like fetch away that second copy of Jace. Let's do that because I don't want to draw Jace. I already have one. So let's plus. Get back Wooded Foothills. I guess I can just play it, get Forest here, Brainstorm, hit all lands. Pretty rough. All right, well now I can just go put back land, play Dryad, play a land, fetch, and then cast Growth Spiral. This is giving me like the most outs to draw action cards. I could just say no. Whatever, I'll put it into play. Okay. I think it's very unlikely they're going to cast Primeval Titan this turn. They can cast it next turn though. That's a fact. So we do need to find something. We can Brainstorm again. Okay. Let's Brainstorm. Oh no. Okay. I can play like a ton of lands this turn. I mean, I guess I can only play 2 lands, but I do have a bunch of fetch lands to go with this Dryad plus this one Valakut. So I guess I'm shuffling these 2 away at this point. And then I just go Valakut. Do I shoot the Grazer? I can also kill the Primeval Titan when they play it here, so that's good to know. I mean, I guess I'm just killing Grazer because I can just attack for 2. Use the ability, yes. Then let's play a fetch so I can double bolt a Primeval Titan when they play it. Always yes, always yield. Then attack for 2. And they concede. Okay, nice. They said GG. They had Persist and Primeval Titan in hand. They had like really, really bad mulligans, but again, I feel like that deck's gonna be super inconsistent and super powerful. And then our deck is the opposite, where it's really slow, but it's really just like methodical, consistent. So advance to 1-1, beating a Persist deck. That's got to be another bad matchup again. I just want to play against like Tron and Jund and just like these like other slow, methodical decks. Then I think we crush those decks. So got lucky, advanced to 1-1. See you in round 3. All right, welcome to round 3. We're against Fozio. Fozier? I don't know. It's mulligan, that's 1 land hand. We have 28 lands for a reason. Got to draw them. Let's keep. What land am I putting back here? Just Stomping Ground? Yep. Pretty easy. And just go Valakut, go. I like these. I like to switch it up sometimes because Pauper Leagues can be so grindy where you like draw your entire deck every game, especially when I'm playing the blue decks. So I definitely like switching it up. All right, I'm just gonna go. Oh, I should not have gone Valakut. Wow, that was just a disgustingly bad play, I guess. Maybe that makes Growth Spiral like a lot worse in this deck too. The fact that we have like a lot of actual mountains with 4 Valakut and a lot of actual mountains. I just wasn't thinking about it. It is. I guess I'm just trying to like make excuses by saying it's a lot harder when I'm trying to like talk and make banter rather than think about my plays so carefully. But no excuse. I just messed up. All right, let's just go Wooded Hills Pass. Meanwhile, opponent just went Misty Pass themselves. They kept a 7-card hand. I was just like used to the red-green version, I guess, and just like, oh, you always lead turn 1 Valakut when you can. It's pretty nice to just get it out of the way. And then I was like, I'll just play my 2-drop on 2. But nope. Should have led turn 1 Foothills, turn 2 Stomping Ground, and then gone this turn Growth Spiral, put Valakut into play. So I kind of time walk myself with that mistake. Again, haven't played Modern for a while. Never played this deck. So I'm going to make some mistakes here. Just going to try to stay positive. All right, they're going to Thought Scour. Oh, it's Living End. Geez, we have not gotten nice matchups. And again, maybe that's just why you're not seeing this deck anymore. Okay, is it Rug Living End? Or it's just Living End. Let's just try them here. Now I have to play a Stomping Ground. I could have played a Jace this turn. I'm just really feeling the punish here from my mistake. I literally just time walked myself by playing the Valakut. Oh man, it's brutal. They play a Waker. And if they can even just Living End next turn. I mean, they might be scared because they might think we're like the remand, like controlling Valakut deck the way we've played so far, so they might just not go for it. But they might even be able to do it at instant speed, or they might be able to grief us. I just really, really hate misplaying. Yep. All right. And they exiled a Living End. I think I'm supposed to go Growth Spiral in response to this ability. Certainly doesn't feel great. And I'm not like gonna cycle any of these triomes, so I think I can just put them into play. Now they just take Jace, I guess. Yeah. Could have had a Jace in play right now. And now if they had gone Living End, like I would have already Jace Brainstormed, then bounce Waker. Oh, then they also get to grief. Oh, and I as F6'd as well. All right. Certainly a little tilt here. Let's see. 5, 12, 15, 17 power. So this misplay cost me 2. 12, 15, 17 exactly. 4, 5, 6. I'm just gonna shame concede here. I mean, I am dead on board. Would it have mattered? I mean, it would have again got turn 3 Jace Brainstorm. I might have been able to win that game. That was disgusting. Guess we do have good sideboard. We have quad chalice. I wonder if I want Veil for like grief. I don't know if that's good enough. I mean, I might just want to play Mystical Dispute. I can just 3 mana leak a Living End. I think Bolt is really bad. Maybe I just don't want Mystical because I'm just going to be tapping out a lot and I can just try to rely on my quad chalice. This is feeling like just with like at least the decks we faced and like the decks we can kind of expect in Modern right now. Maybe just even just like Iteration has also already just not felt great. Going like red green Scapeshift with 4 chalice main might be a decent game plan. And then you can even play Search for Tomorrow and just not have any 1-drops. I kind of like that. Okay. I mean, this hand is great. Now let's think about our lands. Do I fetch Shock or do I just fetch? I think I want to have all mountains in play in case I like draw Valakut. I mean, I know I have Dryad, but this could always get Living Ended away. And this hand actually looks like what I want to be doing. Maybe I need 4 Grazer in the deck too if I want to play these iterations. Alright. Guess I'm just getting Stomping Ground, Grazer, Triome, and then I can go Dryad into 2 land drops next turn. Okay. Still think I want to Dryad this turn. I think I'll Shock here. Dryad, Triome, and then next turn I get to Iteration. That's the turn. I mean, turn 1 Grazer, extra land drop, turn 2 Dryad, extra land drop. That's kind of the curve we want to be hitting. But you can see like how many lands you actually need to do these type of starts. We already are down to 2 cards in hand. Yeah, one of them's Iteration, but like we're still not looking to be in a great spot. They have 7 cards in hand. There's a Wrenn and 6. It's actually pretty good. Let's lead on Iteration here. Blue, red, Iteration. There's Valakut. Okay. How crazy can we go this turn? So I have to think about this because I might want to take Explorer over Iteration. So I haven't played a land yet. I can go play Valakut from Exile, trigger. Then I can go play Misty Rainforest as extra land drop. And then I can go Wrenn and 6, get back a land, explore, play another land drop. And just, I might be able to kill them here actually. I'm not going to do the math, I'm just going to do it. So I'm going to take Explorer into my hand, exile the Valakut, play it. Oh, I don't get trigger. I get trigger on the next lands. Okay, well, maybe I can't kill them. We'll see. Then I go... I guess I can just... Did I just mess up again? Because I have to hit another land drop off this Explorer now. No, there's just no way to really do it, actually. No, the way to do it... Oh no, because I did need to play Valakut first. Okay, this is fine. So, I guess I'm just going Explore right now then. Land? Untap land? Did I have like a Force of Negation? Okay. Untap land is great. So now I get to go shock, bolt you, always yes, always yield, and then I go Misty, bolt you. Now I think I kill them. Then I go fetch, bolt you. Oh no, I don't quite kill them. I put them to 1. Then I go Renin 6 plus. Oh, then I can't hit another land drop actually this turn, so I only put them to 4. They force of negation. Wow, so they didn't force the Explorer. So then now they can Living End, put some power into play, but I still do have 5 mountains. So additional mountains are actually just fine draws. Okay, they're just Living End. Put Striped Riverwinder and Street Wraith into play. They have 8 power, I'm at 12. There's a Chalice, god damn. Well, they're not going to Living End again. So I have 7 mana, so I can Chalice for 0, 1, 2, or 3. I feel like I want to just Chalice for 3 because then that counters Force. It counters Dryad out of my deck, but Dryad doesn't really do anything at this point. Alright, let's do it. That, not forcing the Explorer was a pretty cool play by the opponent. Again, I know they can cast their Cascade spells and let that get countered in Living End again, but they don't even want to do that. I have to top deck something here. I don't even have that many outs, to be honest. Grazer actually lets me survive another turn. Assuming no interaction, like no Brazen Bar or anything. I can chump this, go to 1. I think I need to draw Primeval Titan. They could fire me, I guess. They have Fire Ice. Okay, they cast Curator, tap land, and Primeval Titan. Growth Spiral. Staying alive. Another Growth Spiral. Don't think that's going to do it. Oh, that actually does it. Oh no, it doesn't because I don't have Dryad. I can only hit them down to 1 and I can't fetch. Alright, we got crushed there. This deck is honestly just not feeling good. It's just not keeping up with where Modern's at right now, I think. I mean, we have played against 3 pretty unfair decks, but welcome to Modern, right? So 1 and 2 here. And let's go to the deck while we wait for the next round. Again, like I was talking about, there's a lot of options that we can do. Like, I can just not play Lightning Bolt, play 4 Chalice in the main. Again, I feel like this deck just taking turn 1 off in Modern right now is just so rough. I just don't know if we can actually, like, realistically do that. I mean, I guess Chalice on 0 is good against Rhinos and Living End. And again, we can just not be blue and just be red-green. That makes the mana better. It can play castles again. That lets you Primeval Titan earlier, but yeah, the deck is just not feeling well positioned. I mean, I'm gonna keep this. They reveal Aluris. All right, I can go turn 1 Grazer, put an extra land into play. So I want to get red-green, then I can turn 2 Iteration if I don't hit a land for Dryad. And I probably want an Iteration anyway. We'll see. We'll see what they do. They're on a mulligan to 6. This could be black-red mid-range. This could be Grixis Luris. I guess probably not Grixis. It could be just Junda Shadow with Luris. Thoughtseize. Okay. Thoughtseize is fine. They take a Dryad. They snap, take a Dryad. Okay. I guess they just don't care about Grazer. Makes sense. Grazer is pretty bad with these land-light hands. Grazer felt good last time, and it still wasn't good enough to win. Yeah, I feel like just ignoring the iterations and just going back red green again. I kind of like the Chalice plus um, what's it called? We'll work on the deck in a second. We'll work on the deck in a second. Chalice plus Search for Tomorrow game plan actually seems reasonable. Don't even need to play any red cards in the main deck. Let's go Stomping Ground. Yes. Grazer. Put an island. Okay. What they got? What they got? Inquisition. Sure. This is still feeling like, I guess it could still be Grixis Death Shadow with Chloris and not Street Wraith. They're down to 13. And they're shocking here. Interesting. They could have Stubborn Denial. Alright, let's play Ketria Triome, pass the turn. Definitely not going to Growth Spiral right now, right into a Stubborn Denial, but I might do it at the end of their turn. They only have 3 cards in hand, as do we. There's Delta. Thought sees us. Alright, resolves. Guess I wouldn't be too surprised to see them take Bolt because I threaten to draw extra copies of Bolt, and if they go too low, that can get kind of sketchy. But also these draw cards, so I think the correct take is Growth Spiral here. I would rather them take Bolt. Yeah. If they don't do anything, I think I might just not Growth Spiral because I don't want it to get Stubborn Denialed. I want to draw cards. So, yeah, I'm just not going to Growth Spiral at the end of their turn now. I'm also not going to Bolt them, just going to untap. Primeval Titan, huh? I think I'm fine to just upkeep a Growth Spiral here. Again, I kind of putting them on Stubborn Denial here. Also putting them on Death Shadow, which I assume they're on. I guess they could just be Grixis Control, like Glorious type deck. They're going to double Stubborn Denial this. Alright, well, we played around it. That was weird. Why did they stub that? Did they think it was going to counter it or something? I don't know. Maybe they just wanted us to tap out because they're going to do something good here. Okay, they also have green. Are they going to cast a Goyf? Maybe they just really didn't want us to draw a card. I mean, I guess it resolved anyway. Kroxa. 4-color Kroxa, huh? I feel like I just need to be realistic and discard this Primeval Titan. Because this Kroxa's likely to get flashback soon, and I kind of want to keep this Bolt. Right, let's just discard that. I'm going to just play Dryad. Explore. I don't hate playing Dryad because I can just attack with that if they don't hit a land for Kroxa. And if they hit like a fetch that they might have to fetch Shock, then they also take a bunch of damage that way. I can just discard Explore to Kroxa trigger, keep a Bolt, and just try to top deck a Bolt for the win or something. That was such a weird Stubborn Denial. $28 land deck, stuck on 3 lands. I mean, I guess we did keep a 2-lander, right? But I want even more lands. Yeah, I'm going to work on this deck. Iteration just doesn't seem like it's necessary again. so they can just get Swamp and then play Croxa. Okay, I'm just discarding Explore here, I think. I mean, this does draw a card. Again, I feel like I should discard Explore because if they have to attack with this, and I can attack plus like double bolt them. I think that's how I win. I don't think I win by exploring. I'm not sure. I'll just chump this whenever. No, there's another bolt. Okay. So now I just let them attack, and then in response to the trigger, I double bolt them, chump, and then go for the attack for the win. They have only one card in hand. I suppose they could have another Stubborn Denial, but if I double bolt now, then they won't attack. So I can't do that. So let's just pass. They know about one bolt, but they're going to attack. Like, they have to try to kill me. I'm just stuck on 3 lands. Like, they're going to attack. Okay, nice. So now I just double bolt them. I could have double bolted the Crocs on my turn again, but I think this is gives me a good chance to win. Okay, put them to 1. And they need a blocker for this Dryad now. I could play a 12/12 Death Shadow, I suppose. They have 2 cards. They can take Horus to hand, but that doesn't do anything. They just literally need to play a creature. Thoughtseize doesn't do anything. Yep, got him. Nice. That was a gift to win that game. Kind of don't hate Chalice on 1. I feel like they're going to have so many 1-drops. Again, I don't know their list. Maybe that's not good. Maybe that's going a little bit too deep. Maybe I should just play like a more controlling route. Scapeshift is good inevitability, but I don't know if I want it. Definitely cut the Grazers. Can cut some number of Explorers. Ren and 6 does seem annoying for them if they don't have a really early threat. I can just start plussing Ren, hitting all my land drops. Jace also seems good against their threats. Maybe I don't want 4 Chalices. That's like, seems like crazy. That seems like a lot. Kind of like keeping the bolts because, again, if they want to go low for Death Shadow, having 4 bolt in the deck is decent. Can weirdly enough side out 1 Primeval Titan. It's just so good in the matchup. I could just side out both copies of Scapeshift. I want to keep all the iterations. Yeah, I like this. I guess 3 Primeval Titan, 1 Scapeshift might be better, but Stubborn Denial does counter this. I think Jace is worth, but I'm fine siding out the Scapeshifts. Let's try this. Chalice on 1 with 6 1-drops is also kind of awkward. But I kind of like our position. I think this hand is the perfect example of why iteration is not that good in the deck. It's because we can never like cat sit on 2, and now we don't have anything to do at all. So we're just sitting here till turn 3, and they're just going to be Thoughtseizing us and stuff. I still think this is a keep in the matchup. Okay, well, turn 1 threat is bad. What do we draw? Bolt? Valakut. Let's just Ketria Triome here. Again, I don't really want to just use this iteration to anticipate. I'd rather save it. Yeah, iteration just straight up not good. Maybe just at the end of the league, I'll work on the deck and show you, like, if you want to play a Valakut deck, maybe what you should be doing instead. because I really think these blue cards aren't really working out. But it's been a lot of fun. We could still win this game and maybe even 3-2 this league. So this league's not over. I'm kind of like really talking down on the deck, but certainly not over yet. All right, let's just go Valakut, pass. It's so good when you naturally draw the Valakuts, especially with Dryads and stuff. They don't have Delirium yet, and they're on one land. Oh, God. Hit second land. Are they just going to, like, Dothy? No, I don't even think they play Dothy Voidwalker. Lightning Bolt us. So they're trying to turn on Delirium. They have instant sorcery land. No creature yet. And funnily enough, they should have fetched first, because now if they want to top, they can't fetch. And they do top, so now they cannot fetch. They just attack for 1 now. Sure. And I'm just going to go Dryad plus land. Chalice. Okay, well, I definitely like going mountain, or I guess just wooded foothills, Chalice on 1. They're going to have a ton of 1-drops in their deck. This plays around Stubborn Denial as well. Chalice on 1. They basically need like a Force of Negation or something. Wow, it just resolves. I'm just going to fetch here. Maybe they could have like a Kolgan's Command or something for this, but doubt they're going to even have that in the deck still. I'm just being lazy here in the 1-2 bracket, just getting a Triumph just so I can F6. With a Chalice on 1 out, I don't feel like I need to represent anything, especially playing this deck. All right, are they just going to take a Lurrus or something? Seal of Primordium. Jeez, that turns this on too. Okay, well, that didn't work out. I mean, at least then that's not killing our Dryad, so that's something. We do go down to 11. I wonder if that's the card they left on top. Land would be great, because then I can go like Dryad into Iteration or something. And also Jace, just Jace bounce this, but then I get crushed by Stub. It's going to be a Death Shadow. Thoughtseize? It's a Death Shadow. They're at 2 cards in hand. I think what I need to do... I can't go Iteration into Dryad. Damn, I really needed a land there. The Seal of Primordium on the Chalice was so brutal. Alright, I think maybe I should have 4 Chalices. They have so many 1-drops, actually. Especially being a Lurrus deck, I should have had 4 Chalice. I'm not playing well this league, that's for sure. But again, haven't played Modern and haven't played this deck, so that's understandable that I'm not going to have these edges that I could have otherwise. Just Iteration. I think that's the best line. I could hit Bolt. Man, these don't do anything. I didn't even hit a land. Just going to concede, go to game 3. Could have kept playing there. I am definitely feeling really down on this league. Jeez. As you can see, I don't usually concede early, but that was brutal. Okay, let's get all 4 Chalices. I mean, do they also have Ragavan? So weird to have, whoops, so weird to have the 4 Chalices and 6 1-drops. I feel like I just need Bolt to answer. Like, they probably have Ragavan and DRC and Death Shadow. Definitely want Ren in 6. Just not have Mystical. Just seems so weird. I can just go to 2 Bolt, but again, that's greedy. Let's cut a Primeval Titan and greedily cut a Bolt. I think Mystical's got to be good. They're going to reveal their Lurrus. We're on the play here. Okay. Snap keep this hand. Gonna lead. I was gonna lead Forest Go, but maybe I should lead Misty Rainforest Go. Because Forest Go does kind of tell them what we're doing. Yeah, I'm fighting a Misty Rainforest Go. If they thought these us, I'm gonna veil it. If they don't, I can fetch a Triome. I can like always leave up Veil here, which is nice. Fetch Shock, nice. Go for Thoughtseize, please. Nice. I guess I can get Breeding Pool at this point, because I have a Dryad. Let me make sure that's a Breeding Pool, I can barely see it. Breeding Pool, yes. Cast Veil, counter your Inquisition, draw a card, Cryptic Command that. And then I get to go explore into Valakut next turn. That is huge. Iteration, that's another good draw. Just go Forest, Explore, Valakut, Chalice. I don't think I want to Chalice on 0, even though that gets Bobble. I'd rather Chalice on 1. They have so many 1-drops that, like, it's got to be worth it. I can't, unless I draw an untapped land, I can't actually go Dryad into Chalice. Get a 1-drop down, and they also have a Bobble. Do they not have another land, though? They put a card on top, so they're probably drawing a land. Let's not forget that they have access to Lurrus. Look at my top card. Hopefully it's an untapped land. Then just go Dryad into Chalice on 1 would be so nice. All right, they have a land right now. Okay. But they left a card on top. If I don't hit an untapped land, okay, I'm just going to go Iteration right now, because then I'll still be able to Chalice on 1. Let's just go blue-red, Iteration. All right, I suppose Growth Spiral to hand. And then just go Exile Tarn, play it, play Chalice on 1. I guess the way I played this, I also walk right into Stubborn Denial. Is what it is at this point. I don't even know if they have Stubborn Denial in their deck anymore. That is kind of weird if they do. Let's go Mountain, Chalice on 1. I guess they could have Seal of Primordium, but I can kind of crush them with this Dryad into extra Valakuts next turn. I can go Dryad into Growth Spiral, play 3 lands total next turn, triggering multiple Valakuts, maybe even kill them. If they have to spend their turn killing this, we might just be fine. Wow. Yeah, the fact that we were able to Chalice there is huge, because if they have an answer for it, that takes them time this turn, bring us up to like do a lot next turn. So yeah, this is looking good. They attack for 1, and do they just have like all 1-drops? Take Lurrus? Okay. Nice. This should be it then. So I can go Dryad, play Valakut. I don't get any triggers. But then I go Stomping Ground, Shock, double trigger, and then I'm going to get just only 2 more triggers. So I can hit them to 2, but I can also just kill this. if I draw another land off Growth Spiral, oh no, I've already played 2 lands because I played Valakut land and then I can Growth Spiral into this land. Okay, let's just kill this. Bolt you, always yes, always yield. And then let's just go Growth Spiral right now. Whoa. Oh, I have to always yes to this one too. I guess I can. They could Force of Negation if I Growth Spiral right now. Oh, I could have killed them. Oh no, I can't play this. I can't play this. Okay. So they can't Stubborn Denial anymore. I think I might as well just Growth Spiral on upkeep to play around Force Pitch a blue card. Because again, they can't play Stubborn Denial. I guess I even just wait, because if they play creatures, then I can just Growth Spiral, and then I can choose to use my Valakut triggers to point at their creatures if I want. Yeah, they just concede. Okay. Whew. All right, 2-2. Deck is honestly still feeling pretty bad, but again, I'll play this last round, and then we'll get into possible changes for the deck. See you in round 5. Let's try to 3-2 this league, go positive with this pile. All right, somehow 2-2, and we're against Wizards of the Coast Reggie 5. I don't know who that is. Maybe I should. Obviously, a Wizards of the Coast employee. I'm gonna keep this hand because if I draw any land, it actually like can get decent, and it's reasonably quick. Maybe it's just not good, but we have 28 lands in the deck. Let's go. Let's not stop on Reggie's upkeep. Sorry, Reggie. Flooded Strand. Fetch right now. Hallowed Mountain. Is this control? Serum Visions. This could be a Stoneforge Mystic deck. It could be even like Adnaz, but I don't even know if they play fetches. If it's Adnaz, we can't win, right? Such a bad matchup. Okay, Catcher Triumph, great draw. I think I'm just getting Stomping Ground because I have one blue source. I mean, I do have this Jace. Kind of want double blue. I know I have a Dryad, but maybe Breeding Pool is the take here. It's pretty close. I think given that I have this Jace, I want to just Breeding Pool. Because who knows, maybe this Dryad's going to get like counterspelled or something. Grazer into Triome. Drawing that Triome was absolutely massive. They say, thanks, you too. And it's in purple. Is that just because they're a Wizards of the Coast employee? I guess so. Just because they're like, where's a Saga? Hallowed Fountain Saga. I don't know what that means. Draw another blue source. I'm not going to play around Mana Leak. I'm just going to play Dryad here. Let's just go Mountain Dryad. And then play a Steam Vents tapped if this resolves. Okay. Do the classic. Play 2 lands on turn 1, play 2 lands on turn 2, and then have basically nothing left. Repeal the Grazer just to draw a card. They might be stuck on lands themselves. We'll see. Oh, SRAM. I knew they were gonna. When I saw the Wizards of the Coast name, I was like, I figured they're gonna be going deep. Paradise Mantle. Oh God. Can they really go off with only like SRAM and then all into all 0 drops? They certainly might be able to. And the bad news is we can't even really do anything. We don't have a Lightning Bolt. All I can do is like Jace Brainstorm, try to hit land plus Bolt. Jeez, Moxamber. Equip. Does not have haste though. They have 4 cards left. So weird. I mean, could they have a counter for this Jace? Certainly, but should I bounce the SRAM? I don't think that really does anything considering what they're trying to do. I think I should just Brainstorm. Because I could always hit I can always hit Lightning Bolt. Alright, there's a Valakut. And I do have this Grazer, which I might not want to put back anymore. Because now I could go Oh, I did play a land already. Or no, I didn't. I did not play a land because this is turn 3. This row is actually looking good, and Jace is actually looking pretty solid. Hit turn 2 Dryad, turn 3 Jace. That's sick. Okay. I mean, I can put back. I have not played a land yet. So I can go play Valakut, play Misty Rainforest, then play Grazer. I don't even need another. I don't even need this island. I think I want to put back Growth Spiral Island, keep all this gas. Oh, wait. I guess I can just put back Grazer then. Grazer Growth Spiral. Yeah. That's pretty close. I'm not sure about that one. And then we just go Valakut, Misty Rainforest, Trigger, kill SRAM. Always yes, always yield. And then we have a fetch land up to be able to kill like their next combo piece. This is turn 3, by the way. This is a good draw from us. This is our best draw. Making the deck look good. And then we have a Primeval Titan to just kill them on turn 4 here. I mean, I do stand by that Jace is good in these Valakut decks. Just the ability to brainstorm potentially multiple times, win the game if they have like something like a leyline by plussing for alt, is just like being able to brainstorm fetch land is just such a big advantage in a deck like this. Right, they're making a construct. That's a good sign for us. I mean, I think we just kill them now. And I think I can just fetch this Misty Rainforest, bolt them end of turn. I mean, I guess I can always wait until I have more Valakuts, but I don't even need to. I don't think it's really that relevant. So they're an Urza's Saga, SRAM, Pure Steel Paladin combo deck, I guess. Alright, let's just get another Triumph, Bowl you, and then just cast Primeval Titan. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just cast it before doing anything else. Don't think we need to do anything. Okay. That draw was nuts from us. That was the nut for sure. Force of Vigor, Chalice. I don't know if Anger is good. Probably just too slow. Also don't know if Veil is good. I mean, I think they're just trying to ignore us and do their own thing in combo. I think all these are good though. Like, do they also have Stoneforge Mystic in their deck? Probably. Maybe Force of Vigor is just not even good, but I could see, like, what's their combo with Paradise Mantle? Is there no combo? Is it just there is combos with it, but is it just because it's a 0 mana equipment that they can just draw a card off? Maybe I just don't even want Force of Vigor. I mean, they are blue-white. Maybe Mystical has got to be good. If they just have like, they could have like Teferi and stuff. Just not sure about Force. I mean, I'm kind of just scared of like Stoneforge. This is a lot of cards to bring in. Alright, let's take out a lot of the slow stuff. Jace was good there, but I feel like Jace is also a little bit slow in this matchup. Grazer does help us go fast. I'm going to be chalicing on 0 most of the time. Maybe I just have 2 Force of Vigor. And set out either a Grazer or like 1 copy of Iteration, because that's also a little bit slow. Set out 2 iterations. I think this is a good sideboard plan. Just rely on naturally hitting land drops, Dryads to help trigger Valakuts, have some Primeval Titans, some forces, and as much interaction as we can have. Because if we essentially just stop them, then I think we win. Because we can just keep playing lands. Alright, we have a Chalice, but we only have 1 land. This hand's actually pretty close because any land we draw, we're like off to the races. I'm weirdly gonna keep. We have 27 lands left in the deck. I usually do this in Pauper when I have 20 lands, but let's do this. We have 27 lands out of 53. So every draw step, we have a 51% chance to draw a land. I'll take those odds over 2 draw steps. And we have a Chalice on 0 here. Like, this is going to be just great. We even have a Bolt as well. I think this hand is just a keep. We have to force pitch Ren, we can. It went 1 top, 1 bottom. Non-land, okay. I guess they can still draw through their deck with their 0 drops, but they don't get like access to using them. I mean, I still want Chalices because Chalice on 2 is like incredible against them. So yeah, they can start drawing cards. These all get countered. I don't know if that actually matters, but countering Paradise Mantle could matter. Get to bolt this. Next turn. So they just cycle, sure. Okay, we miss on lands. So we had a 75% chance to draw a land by turn 2. We missed. It was basically a coin flip, and we had 2 chances. So those are pretty easy calculations. Irayu, okay. Do they really have 4 spells here? I mean, I guess I can force this. Whenever an opponent casts their first spell each turn, counter that spell. Sure. Sigil for 1. Flip Irayu. So they have an enchantment that counters our first spell, and they have 1 card in hand. So we need to hit lands. Okay, we do. I can't force a Vigor because it gets countered, but I can just like run an iteration or a growth spiral into Irayu and then force. Oh, Aether Grid? Okay, well I can kill Irayu plus Grid. This is going to be an insane force. They have 0 cards as well. Okay. Oh, I can't growth spiral yet. Oh, well now I can. And I can't force on my turn, so I just pass and then I upkeep before they get to draw anything. I get to growth spiral. It gets countered by Irayu. Is that how you say it? Irayo. And then I go force a Vigor. Kill this and this. Exiling. I guess Renin 6. Once I get to 5 mana, I can go iteration into Dryad and then start Valakutting them. Okay, nice. Oh wow, this is upside down. That's kind of cool. Nice. So this is how they win. Did they top deck a 2-drop? But now, oh, now my spells resolve also. Because they don't have this anymore. Yeah, they just concede. Nice. Okay, I mean, for all the shit I talked about the deck, that last match, it felt insanely strong. But I don't think it was necessarily due to the blue cards. I mean, it was because we had turn 1 Grazer, turn 2 Dryad, turn 3 Jace, into Valakut trigger, into turn 4 Titan. That was a pretty crazy hand. And then in the last game, we just had the Chalice, which was actually good against them, into spell plus force, just worked out. I think maybe this deck isn't as bad as I'm saying because, again, the matchups are going to be really polarized. When you play against Persist, Unmarked Grave decks, it's going to be bad, especially when you don't have the proper hate in the sideboard. But if you play against just like, you know, fair, like Jund and Death Shadow and stuff like that, I think you're actually reasonably positioned because you're putting so many lands into play, and it just, that seems decent. But let's work on the deck. I'm basically going to build an entirely new deck here. Let's make a copy. Let's change the name of this one. This is just going to be RG Scapeshift. Got to choose Gruul here. Let's go. Let's cut all these blue cards. And this is like what I would try next, honestly. Might even get another copy of Scapeshift in there. I don't think we're gonna want Wrens. Might even just want 4 Grazers. Actually, might just let's go with the plan I was talking about. Let's go 4 Chalice. And then let's go search for tomorrow. This is going to be a pretty simple build, I think. 4 search for tomorrow. I was about to type in Steve. 4 Sakura Tribe Elder. We're going to have to totally fix this mana base. Just taking out all the lands I know we're going to take out. Okay, let's just real quick. Guess I can get these other blue cards out of there. I just like to take all the lands out. It just makes me a little easier for me to think about the deck. So this would be 34 lands. What we can do is we can play another Scapeshift actually, and then play some more 2-drop ramp spells. I don't know if we even need Bolt. I wonder if we're just supposed to play like a Boreal Grazer and play Chalice of the Void and just deal with having a 1-drop in our deck. That I'm not really sure about. We even have 4 Explore right now, which might just be worse than like something like a Farseek. I don't hate that. I also kind of like, I guess I don't like Summoner's Pact because we're going to be chalicing on 0 like a fair amount, I think. And chalicing on 1 a fair amount. Could play like 2 copies of Wrenn and 6 here. That honestly doesn't seem great to me. I mean, I want to play like as many lands as possible, and this is already just 31 lands. Is Farseek just better than Explore, though? Probably not, right? Kind of like Explore more, especially. I think we could just play 32 lands and just play like this. I kind of like this. All right, let's put these back in. We're not going to play, I don't think we're going to play all these fetch lands, but then we can play Castle Garenbrig. We're definitely going to play some more mountains. We can also play Cinderglade. Oops, not Slenderglade. Cinderglade. Which one do we want? It doesn't really matter. I think just 1 Cinderglade. 2 Forest is probably fine. We can play some snow-covered copies just to mess with people. All right, let's see. A couple more mountains, an extra forest. This is still only 28 lands. This is 4 Stomping Ground. What I used to like is actually just playing 4 Cinderglades in this deck, because a lot of times you are getting basic. Oh, it's still on quantity 20. I was like, why is there no Cinderglades? I spelled it right this time. Not 5, okay. This is 31 lands. Quad Castle I think is good because it allows us to Primeval Titan a turn earlier. And again, just actually having the mountains. Oh, this is already like also, this is still a lot of fetch lands. I mean, I think I do like, again, 32 lands, maybe 31 lands, double Farseek. What's also the cycling red-green land? This is going to be hard to find. I don't remember the name of it. Red-green, it cycles for 2. It enters tapped. 1 Sheltered Thicket. The mountain. Could even play like multiple copies of that. think all these fetches actually are good because they help us fix our mana, which is pretty key. Just gonna pull the like some lands over here just so we can kind of see what's going on a bit better. Okay. Oh, this is with the double Farseek. I'm wondering if also this deck just wants 4 copies of Scapeshift. I think 3 is fine because early it doesn't really do anything until you get like Dryad plus 6 lands or 7 lands to deal 18 damage. So I can just cut a fetch here. Could even cut 2 fetches, play another actual mountain. But I think this is fine. This is 31 lands. And if we actually sort by mana value, this is actually a 1-drop. Oh, it's not going to let me put it there without like moving everything over. That's pretty annoying. But this is actually like, let's just see actually what our curve looks like. And then the sideboard doesn't necessarily have to change all that much. Our curve's actually going to look like more like this. And know that Chalice is kind of a variable card as well because it can cost 0, 2, 4, or even 6 mana. The only thing I'm thinking is that we want like 1 or 2 more ramp spells. We have Search for Tomorrow, Tribe Elder, Explore, Farseek. Like, I mean, I guess I could go 30 lands, triple Farseek. Oh god, now it put it over there. It moved everything else over. Geez, Magic Online. All right, well, we saw the curve. Let's just put it back so we can see everything. And then I guess cutting even another fetch land I think is going to be good. And I think we do want quad Castle Garenbrig. I mean, we have Dryads to turn them into mountains. And then Castle is basically like another ramp spell for Primeval Titan. Might even want some number of Summoner's Pact in this deck. But the fact that we're going to Chalice on 0 a fair amount against Bobble decks and against any of the Cascade decks makes me feel like Summoner's Pact just isn't quite as good. There's some other options for like tutoring Primeval Titan, but I don't hate trying this. If you want to just play like a red-green Scapeshift deck, it's probably better. In the sideboard, I would recommend some Crumbles, some Angers. I don't know if you want Lightning Bolt. Probably want 4 copies of Endurance, obviously, maybe 4 copies of Force of Vigor, just go really hard. Use Endurance at the graveyard 8. And you just basically only have the mountains for Valakut and just really don't play any red cards in the main deck. I've liked this style of deck better than the deck we played, but it is fun to play like Iteration and Jace and that sort of stuff. Anyways, this is basically where I would go from here. Again, obviously you need to work on the sideboard a little bit, but just brewed this up. Let's save this. Maybe I'll play this at some point. Probably want to try some other decks though. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. My name is Max. Channel is youtube.com/Napple. If you liked it, please help me out by subscribing to the channel. And thank you so much. Till next time. Peace.